What is going on YouTube? It's Crypto Charlie. Today's video is a somewhat controversial video, but very interesting. It is about RRBAYC.com. They are #2 on OpenSea right now, and they are by Ryder Ripps. You can copy an NFT, Perpetual Art by Ryder Ripps. Learn about the truth of BAYC at gordongoner.com. Owning a RRBAYC will allow you to trade Yuga Lab assets without fees. Claim yours at RRBAYC.com. They have a 1.6 Ethereum floor right now, and as you can see here, they are direct copies of Bored Ape Yacht Club. There is a very interesting story behind this. Ryder Ripps is a professional in the field. He did his homework. He did it well. I want to get right into that right now. All right, now this is Ryder Ripps' website. This is his explanation of the project. I'm going to have Siri read this to you because she just reads better than I do. The only thing that she messes up on is when she reads BAYC. She says Bayc. Whenever you hear that, that's what she means, BAYC. She's just referencing Bored Ape Yacht Club. All right, let's get into that reading.
On June 14th, 2021, I reminted CryptoPunk number 3100 on the Ethereum blockchain. An image whose original token sold for a record $7.58 million USD on March 11, 2021. The number 3100 mint tested the boundaries and meaning of digital images within a new paradigm of IP law copyright, computer-generated images, and non-fungible tokens. The work was delisted from the Platform Foundation after I received a Digital Millennium Copyright Act DMCA notice from Larva Labs. I successfully countered the DMCA, and number 3100 was subsequently relisted, sending a strong message that you can't copy an NFT. My recent NFT work has been centered around provocations and inquiries regarding the nature of NFT provenance and digital ownership. Provenance has always been the definitive aspect in establishing an artwork's meaning and value. The technology of NFTs is widely misunderstood, but in its greatest form it enables an immutable trace of origin and time to the publisher-creator of a digital work. Since December of 2021, I have been investigating the most prominent NFT project, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and its creators, Yuga Labs. Through months of intensive research, myself and other community members have discovered extensive connections between Bayc and subversive internet Nazi troll culture. You can read the findings at http://gordongoner.com. Warning: this website contains sensitive content not suitable for children. On Wednesday, May 13, 2022, I began creating new work in the form of NFTs, based on the Bayc images. Through the process of reminting, the original Bayc images are recontextualized, illuminating truths about their origins and meanings, as well as the nature of Web3, the power of NFTs to change meaning, establish provenance, and evade censorship. RRBAYC uses satire and appropriation to protest and educate people regarding the Bored Ape Yacht Club and the framework of NFTs. The work is an extension of and in the spirit of other artists who have worked within the field of appropriation art. This collection was delisted from the Foundation Marketplace on May 17, 2022, when Yuga Labs sent a DMCA takedown request. 2 hours later, Yuga Labs formally capitulated, withdrawing their DMCA request. The current terms of ownership set forth by Yuga Labs to Bayc token holders are unclear and do not meet current copyright standards. Clearly defining what we are buying when we purchase an NFT is one of the primary goals of this work. Please have a look at the works available and reserve what you like. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me at rrbayc@protonmail.com. Ryder Ripps?
Okay, so now we have Ryder Ripps' story. As you heard him reference gordongoner.com, this is gordongoner.com right here. Now, I must warn you that it is not for children, and it's not for people that are very sensitive to racism. And these are not my beliefs. These have nothing to do with me as Crypto Charlie. I'm just bringing you the news as I find it and as I see it. And this is something very interesting that I feel everybody in the space needs to know, because we're literally being tricked into thinking that this project that's randomly generated was randomly generated when it clearly was not. So this is the reason why I'm bringing it to you. Please, this is not stand by anything I believe in whatsoever. Siri is going to read this to you also, so let's get into that right now.
Bored Ape Yacht Club Bayc is a series of 10,000 anthropomorphized ape cartoons sold as NFTs. Since the project's launch in April 2021, the value has amassed to over $5 billion USD and spawned many similar projects. The apes have various clothing and other traits. Most traits are racially oriented or involve some type of military history. The act of disparaging someone by comparing them to an ape monkey goes back hundreds of years. There is a word for it: simianization. There are many examples throughout history. Its purpose is to justify violence and racism against another group by dehumanizing them, comparing them to apes. Simianization has occurred with various ethnic groups such as Jewish, Irish, and Asian people, but it is most predominantly used as a tactic against Black people. You might think simianization is something of a past era, but racists are still comparing Black people to monkeys today, such as the trend in Europe of throwing bananas at Black soccer players. At first glance, the apes in Bored Ape Yacht Club might seem innocent, but there are several traits that indicate that they are intended to represent Black people and Asian people, such as the gold chains trait called hip-hop, the gold diamond grills trait, or the kamikaze headband from Fascist Imperial Japan, offensively labeled sushi chef headband. Myself and many others have noticed the issues with the images. It is clearly simianization. If you run a Twitter search, you can find people have been talking about this since the project started. Knowing the history of alt-right/4chan types in crypto myself and others started looking into it, we found what we believe to be definitive evidence that the group behind the creation of these images are intentionally embedding Nazi dog whistles throughout their project. Here is how we have arrived at this conclusion. 1. The Bayc logo looks very similar to the Nazi Totenkopf emblem, even containing the same amount teeth in the skull. 18. A number the ADL has identified to mean Adolf Hitler. The logos also both have a ragged edge, something very uncommon in other circular emblems. 2. The project was launched by a company called Yuga Labs. The Kali Yuga is a popular element of alt-right traditionalist ideology, and Yuga Labs has gone to the effort to embed the traditionalist philosopher's name, Rene Guénon, who is credited for bringing Kali Yuga into Western thought, and an alt-right icon inside one of their puzzles. Also embedded is the word macaque, a known racial slur. 3. One of the co-founders goes by Gargamel, a character from the Smurfs who is acknowledged as an anti-Semitic depiction of a Jewish person, also a common term used on 4chan to discuss Jews. Since I've brought this up, he has gone through the effort to try to hide it. Gargamel's real name is Greg Solano, a writer who wrote his undergraduate thesis on fiction about Nazis, and expressed interest in incorporating a character like Hans Ryder, SS officer, into his writing. 4. Another co-founder, Tomato Ketchup, has the same name as an explicit film from 1971 that features scenes of a boy in a fascist uniform raping an adult bride. The original film is banned in the US and other countries on grounds of child pornography. 5. Another co-founder goes by Gordon Goner, says he picked the name because it sounds like Joey Ramone, being that the group uses anagrams, and that it doesn't at all sound like Joey Ramone. Maybe this is an anagram. Sure enough, it's a whole word anagram for Drongo. Gordon Negro Goner. Drongo is common 4chan, an Australian slang for stupid. It's in the dictionary as such. Second definition. So his name means stupid. Negro writers often use anagrams for character names, and they are also often incorporated within video games, some of which Yuga Labs have stated they play. Gordon Goner's real name, Wiley Orono, was disclosed early February. There is barely anything online about him. The one person I could find who knows him says, I have no doubt that they're crypto-fascists. 6. The final co-founder goes by SAS-SA, or Sturmabteilung was the Nazi Party's original paramilitary wing, and Assessorschaftstaffel was the primary paramilitary Nazi wing. So his name, SAS, combines the two primary Nazi military divisions. 7. Their video game as well as Rolling Stone cover features rats with gold. This is a common anti-Semitic association. The video game also features bananas arranged to look like swastikas. 8. On Yuga Labs' website they state that another NFT series, the Hash Masks, was a great inspiration. The Hash Masks are made by a Swiss company, Suumkuik Labs, a phrase used by Nazis on the gate of the Buchenwald concentration camp. The phrase was also used on the face of Prussian helmets that are in the Bayc collection. Yuga Labs is inspired by Suumkuik Labs to the extent that even their terms of service was taken from Suumkuik Labs. 9. The symbols, content, and attitude in the images themselves have neo-Nazi ideology and more references, such as this Prussian helmet. Many of the more specific traits are shared with 4chan Pepe memes. 10. In an interview, co-founder Gargamel admits that nothing in the collection is random, that there is hidden encrypted meaning, and referenced iceberg theory. In the same interview, Gargamel cites a Ludwig Wittgenstein quote, "Let the unutterable be conveyed unutterably seems strange if they are just cartoon apes, no. What are their other meanings? They've yet to explain and seem very evasive." The alt-right is known for this tactic of hidden images and innuendo. See full Gargamel quote. 11. Here's a recent 4chan thread where users are acknowledging this. 12. The Yuga Labs project, The Other Side, as well as Bored Ape Yacht Club were both officially launched on April 30th, the date Hitler died. 13. The Other Side virtual land plot held by Bayc co-founder Emperor Tomato Ketchup has a character named Stonewall Jackson, which is a reference to the Confederate general, Stonewall Jackson. Why does it matter? To me, it's a terrible example to other creators, setting a bad tone for future generations of art. We have already seen it morph into increasingly racist offshoots, similar to why you don't teach children to say cuss words. Beyond that, I'm personally offended by the Nazi references and find the act of covertly incepting an uninformed audience vile. There is a true danger in dehumanizing people, equating them to monkeys. It justifies violence and racism according to much research. What can you do? Spread the word, stand up against Bayc. Comment on influencers' pages. Tell your friends, alert the press. The owners of the apes are not the problem. Covertly infiltrating culture with hate to an unaware audience is what's wrong and evil. The information in this has been gathered by over 10 people. I have dedicated a lot of time to compiling and researching this, and as an expert in the field of internet culture, working professionally in media design and internet culture for 15 years, a BA in media studies with many credentials, I, and many others, feel very confident these accusations are founded. Ryder Ripps, January 2022. P.S. This domain name was selected to help with SEO, so when people search the co-founder's name, this info comes up.
Okay, so there you have it. I mean, pretty shocking, right? Very shocking, actually. It's actually pretty disgusting, if you ask me. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking because so many people spent so much money on these NFTs. They had no clue what they were doing. They were just doing what everybody else was doing. It was the thing. It still is the thing. I hope it doesn't kill the project per se. I mean, I don't want to wish ill on anybody, make anybody lose money. So it's not up to me what happens to this project, right? I mean, this is just I'm bringing you the news from what I seen, and I thought it was extremely interesting. And anybody that trades in the space should know the information because it's the history of our space. You know, this is the beginning of this history that we're creating here. So we want to know what we're getting ourselves into, what we're standing by, what we're buying, what we're putting as our profile pictures before we do it. And I think that's our right to have that. So that is the reason why I brought this to you. Now, Ryder Ripps, he started this new project and it seems to be taking off. Is there going to be a switch from the actual Bored Ape Yacht Club to the Ryder Ripps project since nothing goes to Yuga Labs? But I don't know how the deal was structured with Yuga Labs and the new company that owns them. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart right now and I can't remember their name. But now, do they get a cut of the proceeds for a certain period of time? You know, it depends. It could be structured in any way. They could still be being rewarded from the everyday purchases on OpenSea. I'm not sure of that, so don't quote me on that. So I just wanted to bring you guys this story. I thought it was extremely interesting. And instead of you having to go find the websites and read it yourself, you know, it's all put together nice and easily for you so you don't have to go and do that. So once again, this is not my beliefs whatsoever. I do not stand by what Yuga Labs has done whatsoever at all. I think it's pretty disgusting what they did, and I think they should be prosecuted in some way. But we do live in a country where speech is free, and people have the right to say and do what they want to a certain extent. So it's not up to me to make that decision if they broke the law or not. And I'm pretty sure with this information coming out, if they did break any laws, they will be dealt with. I'm pretty sure of that. So I guess only time will tell, and we'll see what happens. This was Crypto Charlie. None of this was my belief. I just want to bring it to you, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys on the next one.